For 15 years, I've introduced our little low-tech game. My memory is not what it was, so please greet. What's her name?
No. Carol. Carol.
Carol V, the board at the board.
Yeah, board at the board.
Have you a little poem for me?
I have, later.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's ever so nice.
I'm sure it is. Do you think it's going to be nice, everybody? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, where were we when I was so rudely interrupted? I was telling you all about Simon Pride and Steve Barry. Simon is the champion, of course. Steve Barry is the chairman. The chairman? I'm the chairman. He's the challenger. I think I'm the chairman. Welcome to both. Welcome, fellas. Simon and Steve. Yes, Simon and Steve. Simon Pride, what a track record. 51, 66, 52, 64, 55 and 54. 6 wins, so obviously 2 to go if he's lucky. But even if he's, as it were, not lucky, if he falls at the hands of Steve, he has done very well indeed. So continued good luck to you, Simon, on your run. It's been very entertaining and a good sport too. And Steve Barry is from Harwell Village in Oxfordshire. He's 42 and married with a 2-year-old daughter. He worked as a government statistician. He's a Fulham supporter. He used to be a rowing cox, and he once ran the London Marathon. Steve also admits to watching Postman Pat videos, but his real claim to fame is that he was the first person to make Weebles. Would you believe that? Yeah. Of course, he's hoping not to fall down today. In fact, we believe he could really go far on this programme. So welcome, very talented chap, Steve Barry. Well done, Steve. Good luck to you. Now, last time our guardian of the dictionaries found winning form with the 8-letter word llaneros, L-L-A-N-E-R-O-S, llaneros. Llaneros being an inhabitant of a grassy plain in South America. So back again to peruse through the dictionary and find some more Caracas. Here he is, Derek Nimmo with Peter Sweezy.
Good afternoon. Whatever weevils are, they're not in the dictionary anyway. We've just been having a look.
Oh, I know what a weeble is, but it's not made it into the OED.
What is a weeble?
They wobble and they don't fall down. They're little plastic smiley things, aren't they?
I wobble, but I do fall down.
Okay, more of that anon, perhaps. So, Simon Pride, Steve Barry, off you go, Simon.
Can I have a consonant, please, Carol?
Of course. You'd start with D.
And a vowel, please.
E.
And a consonant.
L.
And a vowel.
For our favourite people, Del Boy. O.
And a consonant.
R.
And another consonant.
S. Oh, Jacques.
And a vowel, please.
E.
And a consonant.
N.
And another consonant.
And another one, thank you. Oh dear, it's the end of Jacques. D.
Here we go. And Simon.
7.
Right, Simon. Steve?
8.
An 8, right. The Simon 7 is?
Lenders.
Lenders, yes. And the Steve 8 is?
Endorsed.
Endorsed. That's a big one. We'll just put everything up for that and see if it's all there. It looks it's going to be, so we'll endorse that with a round of applause for an 8. Well done. Good, well, that's a very good 8. Anything else?
No, we haven't got past. We had endorsed. We also got down sold. Just a variation.
Good. Right, well, a couple of 8s there, and it's over to you, Steve, having got the points for your letters game.
A consonant, please, Carol.
B.
And consonant.
T.
And a vowel.
I.
And a consonant.
F.
And a vowel.
E.
and another vowel,
O,
a consonant,
M,
consonant,
V,
and consonant.
and G.
VG, very good. Here we go. Steve.
6
6. Simon.
6.
Steve, 6.
is motive.
Motive, yours.
And motive as well.
Derek.
And ours was the same motive.
Motive it is. That's the only one we've got here. Motive. So well done at home if you've got anything better than that. Motive. So you're off the mark, Simon, with 6. You move on to 14, Steve, and it's back to you, Simon, for more letters, please.
Vowel, please, Carol.
Thank you, Simon. We start this time with A.
Consonant, please.
Q,
Vowel, please.
I,
Another vowel, please.
U, you've got it.
Consonant.
V,
Another consonant.
consonant. R,
Another consonant.
G,
A vowel.
E,
And a consonant.
and R.
So that's the latest selection, and the clock starts now. So what do you say this time, Simon?
6.
What do you say this time, Steve?
6
Steve, 6.
is quiver.
Quiver, yeah, quiver, using the Q and the U. Very nice. Quiver, Simon.
Vega. More vague.
Well, Vega. Yes. Quiver. Okay. Now, how are we doing on the scores, chaps? Well, 12 and 20 after letters, and now we have some numbers. Steve, numbers, please.
6 small ones, please, Carol.
Oh, Steve. Tactics, tactics. 4, how many have I taken? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Very useful. 1, 5, and 5, and the 10, 8, and 7. Let's see what the target is. Oh. 975.
Yeah. Okay, chaps, 975. Long way to go. Here we go. Well, how do we get on? 975 we had to get to, Steve.
Nowhere.
You've got nowhere, right. Well, that's fairly honest. Simon?
I've got 983, I think, but I haven't written it down properly, so...
Well, you don't have to, as long as you can now go through it when I ask you to.
I'm not so sure that I can.
Okay, well, I'm afraid, this is the moment of truth when I'm now going to ask you.
Okay.
983.
Okay, 5 plus 5 is 10.
5 plus 5 is 10.
And... hang on a minute. No, I think I've messed it up. 10 plus the... No, sorry, I've messed up there.
Yeah, okay. Cross that out, Carol. Right.
I was
10.
closer than they were.
Yeah.
I've got 970, but as yet, not 975.
Yeah, I'll tell you how to do it. 10 plus 5.
Yeah. Is 15.
8 plus 7.
You're going to show me up now.
8 plus 7.
Is 15.
15 times 15.
Yeah, 15 15s are.
Oh, no, I messed it up, sorry. Sorry about that. Cross that out, Carol.
970 is the best I've got.
970. We're stuck at 970. Will you work on it during the break?
I'll try.
Okay. Right, we'll have a break now. Let's just look at the scores. The scores are exactly the same as they were before. 12 and 20. Derek thought for a minute I was going to ask him how to do it, but I wasn't going to ask you that, Derek.
I'm frightfully glad you
No,
didn't, I must say.
Look at you there,
Yes.
with that boyish face of yours and that full head of hair. But you've been around a year or two, in spite of all that, haven't you? You must have.
Well, I've now reached the age when a girl says no. I feel profoundly grateful.
You must have a memory or two going back over those years as a thespian.
Oh, well, I suppose the thing I was in longest was a musical with Dame Anne and Eagle called Charlie Girl, which went on for 6 years, and then we did it for a year in Australia. So that took up a very long period of my life. But I suppose the most exciting moment of my whole life in the theatre was the day we discovered that Anne had been made Dame of the British Empire. And I rang round all the theatres, and we got from Drury Lane the music from South Pacific, and in particular the score of There's Nothing Like a Dame. So, well, when Anna came on stage that night, the whole audience stood and cheered, because she was dearly and greatly loved. And tears came down her face, and we all cried a bit. And then we got to the final curtain, and instead of going into the reprise of the title song, Charlie Girl, we went into There's Nothing Like a Dame. And the whole audience stood again and cheered and cheered and cheered. Now, that, for me, was the most thrilling, marvellous night I've ever had in any theatre. But she was a very remarkable person, Anna Neagle, I think.
Yes, can when I presented Calendar, the Yorkshire TV programme, I interviewed Dame Anne Neagle once, and I told her the story, and she laughed about it, but afterwards. But I interviewed her and finished with her, then had to move on to a film item, but there was a lot of confusion in the earpiece and things going wrong, and I was a bit confused. And I heard myself saying, well, Dame Anna, and the next item was about an antique fair in Harrogate. And I heard myself say, well, Dame Anna, thank you very much indeed. And then looking at the camera, I said, well, from one antique to some more. It's terrible. It was really curtained down. But, I mean, I did tell her later, and she did laugh. OK, that's enough reminiscences from these two old codgers. We'll see you in part 2, we hope. Thank you.